Hey guys, Dylan from the Geek Duo here, and today I'll be bringing you My Hero Academia chapters 312 and 313 read through. Now, I'm doing a double episode because I don't want there to be another couple chapter break, but I was also sick, like from last Friday through to Thursday morning, so I didn't exactly have time to record the chapter 312 before 313 was out. So there's probably not going to be much discussion about 312. There's one thing I'm going to touch on, but most of the chapter you're going to have to take from the reference images. Anyway, it starts with a flashback to when Midoriya was leaving the hospital, with Hawk saying, "With the power of One for All on your side, I think you'll be alright, but I just have one concern. All for One and Shigaraki have yet to reach the stage where they can steal One for All by force. Not only that, but without Dr. Garaki, they shouldn't have a way to preserve a dead body. That's because we found all the institutes that were related to Garaki after the last fight. So, capturing you alive must be the villain's best bet, which for most of the Tartarus escapees would be impossible. But if that woman is involved, it's a different story. Even though she's my senpai, it goes without saying the manhunt for her is our top priority. However, if you ever find yourself engaged in a fight with her, please do everything you can to run away. A bullet made of pink and blue fibers. It's her." So Hawks is talking about the woman that we first met in the Tartarus escape, but got to see in her proper outfit in 311. And I did have a color image page that we find out in this chapter it was colored wrong, but I still stand by a couple of the things I said about that image, which we'll get to later in this chapter. The former public safety hero, Lady Nagant. So, you moved. Now, this is what I wanted to touch on for this chapter. Lady Nagant is most likely a reference to the World War II Soviet sniper who went by the moniker Lady Death, who in her first days in the field, a fellow soldier that she was close with got killed and handed her his rifle, which was a Nagant rifle. And with that rifle, throughout the war, she got over 300 confirmed kills, which got her the title of the best female sniper, or one of the best female snipers. And so the moniker Lady Death and the fact that she used a Nagant rifle both obviously played into Lady Nagant, whose quirk is called Rifle. She can pop a rifle out of her right elbow. Don't know if she can do one out of her left, but yeah, that's how her name was probably decided on. Anyway, she fires at Deku again, or more, fires to where Deku was, because he's now bounding away using Black Whip to grapple from buildings. And he also grabbed his communicator from the building across the street. "My secret transmission device was destroyed. All Might and Hawk should have known something is wrong, but I couldn't tell them that the enemy was Lady Nagant. She might target them too if they get too close. What should I do? For now I'll do what I was told and retreat. you're out of options. We see that while he's been running from bullets behind him, a bullet has managed to get in front of him and is now curving back towards him. And he catches it just before it hits his stomach. She's on a whole different level. I can see why All For One has his eye on him. This kid is crazy. We then get a flashback to a news report, an interview with Snipe. This was probably back before Midoriya was even in UA. Snipe is saying, "If she wasn't in the picture, I'd be Japan's best long-distance sniper. My homing allows me to lock on to anybody I can see within a 600-meter range. It works with anything I throw. I can't pick the part of the target I hit, and the hits won't pack much of a punch, but not too bad, right? When it comes to her, she can do that with pure skill alone, and her range is 3 kilometers. It really ruins my business. The secret lies in her bullets. She can form her bullets into any shape she wants. She mixes and molds her two-colored air like epoxy putty before hardening it into a bullet. She can make anything from hollow point bullets to bullets that curve. She's basically a human sniper rifle. Everyone with a long-range quirk is jealous of her right-hand rifle." Given that the fact he actually says right-hand rifle, she probably can't produce one from her left arm, a precision that Snipe Sensei would envy, and she can even do rapid fire. If it wasn't for the fourth, I would have been defeated a long time ago. But with that shot along with the first one, I figured out where she is. About 1 kilometer ahead. Her range is 3, so rather than enduring this barrage while escaping her range, I'll take the fight to her. This is the first time that someone has deflected 2 of my bullets. The boss. I've got to see the boss now. Yes, as soon as we're done here. Go hide, the target is coming. Maybe I should have left you behind.
Ah, the traitor hero, the beautiful Lady Nagant. It's an honor to meet you.
All For One. I remember chasing after you back in the day.
I consider you to be leagues above anyone else. Please, I have this favor to ask of you. Soon enough, there will most likely be a boy who leaves UA and starts acting independently. I want you to capture him and bring him back to me. He will be closely followed by several big-name players, so it would be best if you can find a way to separate them before engaging. Say, for example, if you waited for some rain.
Wait, I'm doing none of that. You're helping those others leave this place on the simple premise that they can go on a rampage, so why should I do anything for you?
You've slaughtered many of your fellow heroes. The fall of the pro-hero society that you wished for will never arrive as long as that boy lives.
Another one clinging to those phony hopes, huh? The boss.
Ah, the young leader of the Shy Hazaiko. Is he a friend of yours?
No, he's a broken man, but I thought he could be useful later on.
He is another victim of the evil pro-hero society. To put an end to these damned heroes, come, let's make a deal. Consider this a security deposit.
Quirk. Airwalk. I've got a mission to carry on. Now, this is why I said I was keeping some of the comments I made about Lady Nagant. Specifically, I took note of her eye color. One was yellow, one was, I think it was blue. But I said that we've only seen one person with heterochromia in the show before, which was Shoto, and we know that he has 2 quirks. So I thought maybe with Lady Nagant, since she'd been illustrated with 2 different colored eyes, maybe she had 2 quirks as well. Now, I was completely off. Sorry, my snipe accent is trying to come through again. I was completely off base with my reasoning for it, because we now know that that colored image was wrong on some aspects, so it might have been wrong on the intended coloring of other aspects, but I somehow got to the right conclusion in that she has 2 quirks. Because, well, she was given Airwalk by All For One, which, as you may remember, he used in the fight at Camino to raise himself into the air and just now, I've seen a couple people say that they think Airwalk just lets you rise into the air. If that was the way it worked, then it wouldn't be called Airwalk, now would it? It would be like hover or something. Airwalk gives the insinuation that you can walk on air. So you can raise up and just like you'd be walking on the ground, but you're in the air. But then again, we don't actually see, I'm pretty sure we do see All For One moving around while in the air at Camino. Like, he actually does take a couple steps. Lady Nagant, on the other hand, we don't see her take any steps, but there is movement, though it's got nothing to do with Airwalk. I'm just saying that she can walk on the air if she wants. She's not stationary in an up-down, like, direction. On to chapter 313 now, and we can see it's picking up not exactly where the last chapter ended, but about halfway through the chapter before, with All Might. And like I expected, that bomb did absolutely nothing to his car. If it wasn't for Hercules, I would have been a goner. Hercules is the name of his car, yet another Greek inspiration. There's a lot of it in this story. I may end up doing a video about it. I may not. But as he's drifting out of the smoke, he goes past 2 people, marksmen, wielding these flaming spears. This isn't just an ordinary attack. They're clearly out to kill me. They sure don't plan to hold back. The goal is to separate us from Midoriya. He picks up his phone, likely because it's directly, like it's talking to Hawks and Bestianus at the moment, and says, "Those are assassins. The boy is being targeted." And as he says this, the two masked men throw their spears at All Might's car. But luckily he's able to grab a suitcase and fling himself out of the driver's side. Because these 2 spears, they do penetrate the window of Hercules. And it careens off to the side of the street and crashes. All Might? Don't falter. We can't stop now. But he looks so frail. The All Might we once knew is long gone. Yeah, that's right. Step aside. Huh? That boy has gone through enough. A lot more than I ever have. And yet he still admires me. If anything ever happens to him, it'll be when I die. I like this because it shows that All Might, sure, he was intimidating physically, but You rarely ever saw him get angry and stop smiling. That was his whole deal. So, whenever someone saw All Might not smiling, like in the USJ, they knew he was serious and about to wreck some shit. And just the reputation of an angered All Might is enough to startle and these criminals and send them running, even though All Might can no longer physically carry through with the threat. He also thinks back to his promise to Inko, saying that he'd protect Midoriya even if it cost him his life, and on Midoriya saying that he'd change the fate that was predicted of All Might to help give him even more oomph into what he's saying. But we don't get to see the end of the outcome as we jump back to Midoriya, who is jumping between buildings. I'm zigzagging around unpredictably to escape her line of fire. As long as Nagant doesn't overtake me somehow, I'll reach it faster than her. I'll find out where where Shigaraki is. Suddenly, danger sense flashes, alerting him to a bullet approaching from behind, which he is able to dodge and kick out of the way, but he isn't able to escape the bullet that cuts through his side. What's happening? How did she catch up to me? Unless she's got company? No, I don't sense any hostilities or murderous intent nearby. Hold on. That's right. How could I have overlooked this possibility? He spots Lady Nagant between two buildings, floating. If an assassin sent by All for One, of course she would have received support from him. We do actually get to see her utilizing airwolf, because she sort of skips in the air, and as she's got the forward momentum from her skip, she also fires a bullet behind her to get extra full propulsion. The last shot that hit my back was super curved and came from behind me. If she comes any closer, she'll be able to shoot me at point blank range instead of predicting the trajectory. Immobilizing and capturing me alive must be their goal. And now that I've blocked her bullets, she's decided to close the distance. Eventually, I won't be able to handle her barrages, even with the help of the fourth danger quirk. If that's the case, Midoriya lands on the ground and creates a smoke screen at full throttle, which probably means he's just producing as much smoke as he can. Another quirk. Does he also have multiple? Damn, I can't see anything. Hey, Ninth, did you already forget what I told you? Releasing too much smoke is a pretty risky move. The enemy is a so-called flying artillery battery. She'll hit you as soon as you leave the smoke. You've got nowhere left to run. I'm not going to run. I just need to buy some time. He starts crouching and standing up like he's exercising or building charge, and the sixth user recognizes what he's doing. Oh wait, could that be? That's dangerous. I really don't recommend that. I know what you're trying to do, but you've yet to reach that stage. It's like you said yourself. First, figure out how to handle two processes at once subconsciously. Once you've got that down, throw in another thing. You've yet to try my quirk before. Before attempting parallel processes, Now, the third user was probably going to say, before attempting parallel processes, you should probably learn how to do the singular process. But Midoriya cuts him off, saying, I can't be too slow. If we manage to stop Lady Nagant, All for One and Shigaraki will come next. I'll learn how to use your quirk right now. I'm sorry for having to use your cape like this, Gran Torino. Third, Fa Jin. The third quirk is an explosive release of internal power, similar to the move in Chinese martial arts. So basically, it's, if you know Bruce Lee, he had the infamous 1-inch punch, which is basically, he had his fingers up against the opponent's chest, and very quickly he would bring it in and punch the opponent, sending them backwards. That's just an explosive release of internal power because of how small the range is versus how much impact force there was. So what Midoriya is doing is he's building up charge from the crouching and standing to get an explosive propulsion for whatever he's trying to do. We zoom out to Lady Nagant and we see that her rifle arm comes equipped with a scope that she's trying to spot any movement in the smoke. And she does. A cape flying out of it, but when she shoots it, she realizes it's just a decoy. A decoy? What is that? How impudent. She fires a series more shots, but one just narrowly misses Midoriya's backpack, another misses his hood, and the third, we can't even see what it misses because there's nothing in frame. You can't just hide in the smoke and expect to get away. That's if I was hiding. Get her with surprise. No, get her with support. We see that he wasn't hiding. He broke into a building and shot straight up through all the floors behind her to grab a hold of her aiming arm. So basically, that is what we've got so far. We've got Midoriya actually managing to subdue Lady Nagant. I don't think it'll be that easy. I think she's got a couple more tricks up her sleeve. Maybe she can pull the rifle in mostly and just have the tip of the barrel sticking out so she can get some real close range shots in. Or really, she doesn't even need to do that because she could just fire, take the recoil into both of them, and just have the bullet spin round. Though then again, if she does that, she runs the risk of Midoriya potentially maneuvering her own body into the way of her bullet. Because she doesn't have control over where the bullet goes. She creates curved bullets that run on a specific trajectory from where she fires it and the amount of curve they have. So if she were to take into account the recoil she would receive from the bullet, along with the additional weight of Midoriya added onto her, and were to fashion a bullet to take into account that, of course she'd still have to fashion it and load it with her left hand, because I doubt she'd be able to do that with her right. So there's a problem there. But also, Midoriya has aerial maneuverability, and, as I mentioned earlier, he could just maneuver her into the way of the bullet. Though, she doesn't actually know he has maneuverability. She's seen he has incredible speed, he can create smokescreen. She didn't comment on the fact that he had the black tendrils, not even sure if she saw them, but she's seen 3 of his quirks. Probably attributed the danger sensibility into his speed, and that's why he was able to dodge her bullets, but she's seen 3. She doesn't know he has aerial maneuverability, but she also doesn't know about the super strength or the kinetic build-up or whatever the second user's quirk is, which we've still yet to see. But yeah, Midoriya knows all her tricks. She knows about half of his. But with that being said, somehow this double chapter episode has ended out on an unedited time roughly the same as a normal video. So I obviously ramble a lot more in those videos than I have in this one. So let's keep it that way, and if you guys enjoyed the chapter and noticed anything in the pages that I didn't touch on, noticed anything that I did touch on incorrectly, or want to bring forth ideas as to what Lady Nagant might do to get out of Midoriya's grapple, comment them down below, and I'll catch you in the next one.